was young, I loved to play with Legos. My dad built me a bed that had a top. It was like a bunk bed, but it was a play bed. I slept on the bottom. I had all my Legos on the top, and it was like my little domain. I wouldn't even let my sister up there, but I played with Legos all the time. I think it was partly my parents' fault for buying me so many Legos that I ended up wanting to be a builder. I went into construction management when I went to college to learn how to build things. And I thought what I wanted to do was build high-rise buildings. I was always fascinated with places like New York City. I wanted to build tall buildings. A missionary trip to Guatemala in the year 2000 while I was in college changed everything about that, and I decided that I wanted to build roads. Roads in developing countries save lives. It makes a huge difference. One of my dreams as a child growing up was that one day I would get to either build or work in a high-rise building, or both. Maybe work in a high-rise building and build them at the same time. Highway construction is a bit different. Highway construction is very flat and very long, and mostly it's not very glamorous. You drive on it, and you only care if it's smooth. You don't care what it looks like. Highway contractors are not normally into appearances. They don't really care if they are in fancy high-rise office buildings. When I decided to go into highway construction, I thought, that dream of me working in a high-rise building is probably going to have to go. So I'd pretty much given up on that dream. And by the time I was graduating college, I thought I might have to give up on a lot of dreams because it was 2002. The World Trade Center had collapsed, the dot-com bubble had burst, and there wasn't a whole lot of work for anybody at that time, especially young people graduating college. I submitted my applications everywhere, and I was trying to do everything I could to not have to be gone a lot or travel a bunch or be away from my brand new wife. I got turned down for a lot of jobs until something came up with a construction company in Austin, Texas. And it was because of a connection that I had with someone I hadn't talked to in over a year. He had worked at a previous company where we worked together, and he had just recently moved to Austin and was working for one of the only companies in the state of Texas at the time that seemed to be hiring. Not only did I get the job, I ended up getting the job in this building, right there. That was my office. It was a pretty cool job. Got to work in a high-rise, watched all sorts of stuff. I loved looking down from the 26th floor. It was a really cool opportunity. Not only that, the company had a Learjet, and I was one of the youngest employees in the company, and I got to fly on the Learjet several times. Actually, the CEO told me that I couldn't fly on the Learjet anymore because several of the older employees who hadn't been on it yet, they were getting jealous, and they requested that I not fly on it anymore until they got to fly on it. It was a really cool opportunity, and it lasted about 9 months. It was a great job, and I loved almost every minute of it. I left it because things change. Nothing ever stays exactly the same. But one of the main reasons I left it was because it wasn't my life's ambition to work in that tower or any tower. My life's ambition was something different. This was a goal. This was a dream. This wasn't my dream. This was a dream. I went from working in this building to working in one of the most rotten, run-down buildings I've ever seen in America. And I didn't care. Because leaving this wasn't leaving behind the path that the Lord had for me. No, this was the Lord wowing me. This was the Lord saying, He heard me, He saw me, He knew me. He doesn't forget. He remembers every dream, big D, little d. But this was a little d dream. And I moved on in pursuit, and continued pursuit of the big D dream. You see, the Lord loves to get our attention. He loves to open our eyes to what He's doing in our life. And sometimes it takes opportunities like getting that childhood dream. Again, little d dream. The Lord loves to wow us.
He loves to show us that He's listening, that He's paying attention, that He cares, that what we want matter to Him. And it really does. The things that we want really do matter to the Lord. And when the Lord fulfills a dream, don't look at it as the highest achievement in your life. Don't look at it as the Lord blessing you beyond measure. I mean, that's a great thing, but look at what's beyond it. Look at what the Lord is trying to show you beyond Him fulfilling that dream, beyond giving you that financial blessing, beyond giving you that dream job. What's the next thing that the Lord wants to wow you with? And what's the end result? What does the Lord want with your life? What do you want with your life? Because a lot of times, if we're content with this being our life's ambition, with this being our dream, the Lord may stop with us there. He may allow us to be content with that. But I encourage you, don't be content with what the Lord wowed you with yesterday. Never be content with what the Lord has done in your past. Continue praying and looking toward the future that the Lord has for you. Keep asking for the wows that the Lord has for you in the future, the wows to come. He wants to keep doing it. He wants to keep speaking. Sometimes there might be a lot of time, a lot of distance in between one moment to the next. But there's always another one if you keep pursuing Him. If this has been encouraging for you, I encourage you to click the like and the subscribe button. I'm going to be posting these kinds of videos on a regular basis, and I want to encourage you to chase after the Lord for yourself. I want to encourage you to learn to hear the Lord for yourself. He really wants to speak to you. He won't speak to everyone on the same frequency, but He really wants to speak to us, and He really wants to hear from us. He really wants a dialogue with us. So for regular encouragement, to subscribe to these videos, click the subscribe button, click the like button, and I'll see you next time.